Hi, I'm Councillor Michael Payne, Deputy Leader of Gedling Borough Council and a County Councillor here at Nottinghamshire County Council. I came out in the workplace about a year ago, so in 2015, and I came out in the workplace having been a councillor since 2011 on the Borough Council and having been elected here at the County Council since 2013. And the reason I came out is I'd met my partner a couple of months before. He was already out, and I just thought, if I'm going to stand up for the values that I believe in, I need to be true to who I am as well, in order to stand up for some of those minorities out there in the community who perhaps were in the position I was in. They're not out and they can't speak up for themselves and they don't feel comfortable speaking up for themselves, and I almost felt I had an obligation to do that, so it was the right thing. And having spoke to my family and friends first, I came out in the workplace. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't difficult. It was difficult to come out in the workplace, but it was more difficult, I suppose, having had a conversation with my family and friends, but made all the easier by the support that I had from my partner, the support that I had from close friends from school and from university, and also, to be fair, close friends in politics, whether that be the councillors here in the Labour group at Nottinghamshire County Council, who are my close friends, or local MPs as well, and also, as I said, support from my partner. But it was a difficult thing to do. I'd been away at university. You kind of grow up, you discover yourself more, you learn who you are, and confronting that was a big deal. Despite the fact we live in a more tolerant, equal society now, coming out and kind of confronting who you are, I think is still a big issue for people. I think I certainly feel more comfortable in myself, and I think I feel more comfortable speaking about issues that I feel passionate about. In a bizarre way, that may seem strange, but I think if you are comfortable in your own skin, you're more comfortable in the workplace and in your work environment, and that's been made all the easier from the support of my partner, who is a councillor as well and works for a Labour MP, and also my family have been absolutely outstanding. And I suppose if I was looking back, I had a fear that perhaps my family wouldn't understand who I was and who I loved, but actually they did, and I shouldn't have been surprised by that. After all, they're my family, and I think if anybody else is going through this, I'd just ask you to put some trust in your close friends and your family, because at the end of the day, they are your friends and the family, they love you, and there's nothing to be afraid of, really. There's a lot of support, actually. I think I discovered there's more support for people who are gay than I thought there was, and actually it's not really an issue. I know that seems really strange to say, because at the moment I think there are some big challenges about how we continue to improve equality in society for women and for other minorities, whether that be of skin colour, sexuality, people from different backgrounds, but there's a lot of support out there as well. There are a lot of people who understand, and I suppose what I'd really say is it hasn't really been an issue. If anything, I think people have seen it as a positive that, here in the council, there are people from different backgrounds, whether that be, people who are young parents, whether that be people who are retired, whether that be people like me who are out and gay and can speak on those particular issues. I think having a range of different voices in politics is really important, and reflecting the community we represent is really important. So I haven't really found it to be a barrier anyway, or a hindrance in terms of the role that I do. I think if I could give advice, be more honest with the people around me who were close to me and loved me earlier than I was. And it's great to look back with hindsight, but it was difficult. We do live in a more equal society, but I think it is still very difficult for young people to confront, who they love and who they are, and coming out. But I think if I was giving advice to myself at a younger age, it would be more comfortable with who you are, put trust in your family, put trust in the people who love you around you, because they'll support you. And I think ultimately you enjoy your life more if you're more comfortable with who you are. So if you're a young person and you're out there and you're dealing with some of the issues that I've been through and many other people on a day-to-day basis go through, I'd say, talk to your friends, talk to the people that you trust first. If there are other people that you can't talk to first, have that conversation, confide in somebody, and you'll find that there are people out there who can support you. And you'll find that once you confront who you are and you're comfortable with who you are and you speak to people, there's actually a lot of support out there. I think role models are hugely important. You may not expect it from somebody like me at the age of 29, but one of my role models growing up, just because I really liked his music, was Elton John. Now he's 60 something, but he's somebody who came out at a very young age in music, and I think somebody who challenged the view that all rock stars and all musicians had to fit a certain type or a certain category. And you can look across all different professions, you know, whether that be in politics, people like Chris Bryant, who's a Labour MP, I think has done outstanding work for improving gay rights, both in society but also in Parliament. And then look across music, you know, look across art, film, people are actors. There's still, I think, a massive issue in sport, you know, in football. I think there's still a big issue about the fact that people don't feel comfortable because of the kind of culture in sport in coming out. But I think role models are massively important, and certainly I've had role models as I've grown up, and I think you look to those people and you think they've dealt with similar sort of issues. Why can't I deal with those sorts of issues? After all, we're all human beings, whether we're the greatest selling rock star in the world, or you know, whether we're a councillor, or whether we're a nurse, or whether we're a teacher in a local community. We all deal with the same sorts of issues as human beings, and I think having those role models is important. Well, I've spoken about the fact in music I'm a massive Elton John fan, which I'm probably going to get ribbed for by people who are the same age as me. But you know, if I look in terms of politics, I was a big supporter of what Tony Blair's government did, and certainly a big supporter of him as Prime Minister. I think what he did for gay rights, introducing the civil partnership, which obviously now has carried on to see people be able to marry if they love somebody of the same sex, I think is brilliant. You know, so certainly he's somebody that I looked up to growing up as Prime Minister of the country. But you know, within my own area in terms of politics, Chris Bryant, as I said, has been an outstanding advocate for gay rights. But you know, there are other role models as well that aren't perhaps defined by my sexuality who I look up to, and I think, you know, people have a number of different role models. I wouldn't pick a particular issue to say that, you know, I'm proud of one particular thing since coming out that I've done. And I think you've got to be a bit careful about kind of gesture politics, and so just because I've come out and I'm a gay person, kind of tokenistic things that you can do in the kind of role I'm in where you've got a public profile. But I think the biggest thing that I'm proud of is perhaps that I'm more comfortable speaking passionately and with experience about the sorts of issues that people who are gay or people who are from minorities face. I certainly never shied away from tackling injustice or inequality. I was brought up, you know, as the grandson of a miner who had taught me from a young age that you shouldn't disrespect people, that working together in a group you can achieve more than just working on your own, and kind of you should never look down on other people who are less fortunate than you. So I've never ever shied away from tackling injustice, even if you're in a minority. But I think since coming out, I've been more comfortable with speaking about particular issues that affect minorities, and particularly the LGBT plus community, because I can kind of speak from experience. And you know, I think that's really important, not just in politics, but probably more important in other areas of work. You know, if you're a teacher, or if you're a nurse in a hospital, or you know, if you're a bin man working for the council in a local community, and you are struggling with your sexuality, I would encourage you to kind of find that kind of positivity, find that strength, speak to the people close to you, come out, and you can have a massively positive impact in the workplace, because there will be other people in your workplace who are struggling with the similar sort of issues that you have been struggling with as well.